So Halo Infinite has been delayed, and it was released in a blog post by the new lead, in a way that was very like almost sneaky. It was like just sort of saying, yes, we're receiving the feedback from the community. We also sort of have heard the feedback, and some parts weren't shown in a way that they were ever really meant to. Like I think one of the characters, Craig, as so-called Craig, enemy. I think it was that the animation wasn't working, wasn't rigged right, so it wasn't meant to look like that anyway. In that deadpan face, so like I do feel a bit bad for them. I think you and I both didn't think the gameplay looked as bad as what everyone else was sort of ripping into it.
I think a lot of people actually didn't think that, but again, the people that are vocal, the ones that people hear. I actually
Yeah,
thought the demo that they showed, or that slice, was
yeah,
really good.
I
But
thought it was all right.
I'm also a fan of Halo games in general. I haven't played one since Reach, but I'm a fan. Got to catch
Yeah, well,
up.
we both are, and it's I think it's like also probably should review, and we should probably do it more. We've gone back and started playing the Master Chief Collection from the start, and we got stuck on one level for like half an hour, embarrassingly. Yeah, so like, and again, I think we're both pretty patient. So if this game gets delayed, it's like, fine. Like, I get why it's really bad for them because essentially they don't have a console exclusive. But as I called out, again, the gloating has started up again. I did call out that I think this game won't be a 3-month delay or a couple of month delay. I think it'll be like a whole year delay, and it'll be like holiday 2021, and that's exactly what it's turned out to be. And just if I go on further with my predictions, I think that they'll target 11/11/21, which is around 20 years after Halo 1 was released. And just 11/11, it's like it's on a Thursday, like the normal days they release games. It just sounds neat as well, like 11/11/21. It feels like you could do a lot with the marketing with that. And that's like peak period of when you want to release games for Christmas. So
I've got
I
to,
feel like you
I've
could
got
put a
to,
huge push behind it
I've
for
got to
that.
stop you making predictions because
Why?
then there's less chances of you being able to gloat in the future. So I need to
You're
like put a
nervous about
stop
this
on it.
because you're.
I'm not nervous because I'm not disputing it. It's just the fact that I think you're going to be on the money with it. So
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just waiting for another 11 months, and you'll be just like, "See, I told you again and again and again."
You know what? If they release it like next year, like, because it won't be soon, it'll be like March or April next year when they go the release date for the new Halo, and it'll be like 11/11/21. Oh man, you're not gonna hear the end of it. I'm gonna tattoo it on my body. 11/11/21.
We'll replace you as the host of the podcast by then.
But I am actually really looking forward to it. I think this is like for me, I've got a weird relationship with Xbox now because I've got Xbox Game Pass. I'm finally like I'm an honest reviewer. I'm finally seeing the benefit of it. Before I was like, it's marginal value. But now that I've got Jedi Fallen Order, a game that I definitely wouldn't have bought to be honest, but I really really wanted to play, and I think I'll really really enjoy it. So that's just like money for jam for me there. And then Doom Eternal, like that's a $30-$40 game. You have to kind of credit it for that.
Yeah,
So
I was playing 2 new releases that came out in Game Pass this week.
yeah,
It's one I'm going to talk about next week, but one I'm assuming we're going to be talking about today. But it's I'm not saying it's the best deal for everyone, but if you like to play a lot of games, you can't go wrong really with it.
oh, and it's definitely the best deal in gaming. And I think
We're such shills.
you know,
We're such shills for Game Pass.
no, like I don't like. I tell people I don't think it makes sense to get. If you have a PC, I really don't understand why you would get a Series X. Because I think with Game Pass, the policies and how they're getting more and more stuff on PC, it just doesn't make sense to me. It's like getting a PS5 and then having it all on PC for the most part. Like that's
Yeah,
just
but
super logical to
like
me.
a lot of people don't like to screw around. Like I prefer console gaming.
Yeah,
I always have.
yeah,
And
yeah. You
I
don't want to muck around with the
and
75
I've
mic for half the
and
time.
PC gaming's in a much better position than it was like 15 years ago in that regard of having to
Mm,
like muck around, tweak, and install patches and whatever. Like you used to have to do a lot more to get a game running the way you wanted it to, but
yeah,
I still just like the idea and of just sitting down, in front of a console, and yeah, that's just me. Like, but I completely understand, especially for those Microsoft first party titles that are always generally going to be released on PC as well.
Yeah,
There are a bunch of
and
other
day and date.
ones that don't come to PC. And then the other way happens as well. But generally, the ones that only hit console are the ones that I'm going to be more inclined to play, as opposed to something like Football Manager or something like that. That's a PC exclusive that is actually being removed from Game Pass, which we'll get to in a second.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. So, I don't like overall. I'm actually excited by this news. It sounds like they're willing to give the game a lot of love, and I don't know if you read, but they also are giving the studio a break as well over the holidays, which sounds like a given and an automatic thing, but it's not really. And I think it's really
cool.
good that they're doing that.
That's cool. And the screenshots, and I know they're very nice, like screenshots you've always got to be wary of, but looks good. Like,
it looks really good.
It looks really good.
Well, I'm looking at the trailer now, the gameplay trailer. I still think it looks good. Like, people come at me, it's fine. Like, everyone's different in how they look at things and perceive things.
This is easily the most hyped I've been to play a Halo game since Reach. So,
yeah, I just don't want them to go, because to me, they're almost not cartoony in a Fortnite sense, but just the unrealistic cartoony world of Halo. Does that make sense? What I'm sort of saying, like describing it as, it's not a gritty, realistic world, right? I kind of got that from the trailer. Like it looked right to me.
Yeah,
the trailer.
Yeah, like the thing is, like Halo's always got like the enemies. There's always a bit of slapstick there, and that turns.
Yeah,
we know.
slapstick.
I know for a fact that's turned off Mike from ever playing Halo. Is like the grunts and stuff running around going, "Oh no, he's chasing after me" and stuff. I don't mind that. I'm cool.
Yeah, I don't mind either.
So.
Yeah. So look, I'm really happy that they're actually going down this path, and looking forward to it when it releases on 11/11/21. Not official, yeah, everyone. All right, let's get into my favorite segment, and there's some actual big news in the next segment.